Hi, welcome to episode 80 or 90. I just said that. I just said it. Episode 90 of Creepy Soup. I'm Jill.
Jenny.
And we matched today.
I don't even have my glasses on, so we're
Yeah.
total twinning.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So the episode's coming out on the right day, a little later than normal because it is the day of, and we're just now recording. So
To be
um
fair, I thought it was Saturday.
oh, I wish. So how are you today?
Peachy.
Same. Um, I know you're working, but other than working, are you having a decent weekend?
Sure.
Mine has actually been really nice. This has been my weekend of no, saying no. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I've made it about me. Because every weekend I'm always so busy doing this for like my husband. Last weekend he was like super sick, and that was the whole fucking thing. And I'm so glad he's not sick anymore. And my big thing that I do plan on doing today is getting a couple things cleaned up and erasing my glitter strands.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
those silver glitter is fun.
yeah. Wisdom glitter. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna be doing that. And then hopefully once we're all done here, um, the plan is to go look at new mattresses.
Okay.
Well, the last couple my husband has went to pick out, and anyone that knows us knows that Roy is a cheap bastard. So he doesn't go for quality, he goes for price. And like honestly, I've been complaining over a year that we need a new mattress. And about 6 months ago, he was like, "Yeah, I think we need one." Well, it's been getting put off. And I finally told him, I am no longer comfortable in the bed. Like I woke up today, my arm hurt. Like it's so bad. So
You probably just slept wrong.
I probably, well, honestly,
Now you're gonna be broke for 3 days.
right. Well, I think it's my job because the one part I lift, and I lift a couple hundred of them a day of this particular part number. They're 18 pounds a piece, and I'm lifting, and then I lift them
Dozens.
again to put them up. So I've got like this shoulder that bothers me and this elbow.
Okay. Makes
So yeah,
sense because you're
yeah,
doing this and this.
yeah, yeah. So I got the shoulder and that, and it's actually one of the reasons we were just talking before we started recording because Jenny and I have actually been on Zoom for over an hour now. Um, that I now have chiropractor visits on my insurance, and I'm gonna take advantage.
Yes, I definitely think you should. If I could, I would. We also decided that we need to divorce our husbands, and her and I need to get married so that I can go get fixed up.
Yep. So she can get in on my insurance for a little bit, and then we can amicably divorce and
Mhm.
remarry our current spouses or upgrade. I mean, either way.
Oh,
Um, I mean, it's a thought. Do you have anything exciting coming up?
I go back to school on Tuesday, and that is where I am going to
Oh,
start the process of the acupuncture testing, um, and get signed up in the school system so that I can then do everything online. So I'm getting those steps done that I need to get done.
good, good.
So
Congratulations. It's good.
yeah.
Um, I know. my big exciting thing this week is on Wednesday, I have an appointment. Actually, it was supposed to be at noon, and the girl messaged me. She's like, "Would it be okay if we make it a half an hour earlier?" I'm like, "Absolutely." Um, I can't remember if I brought this up previously, but my middle grandson, as you know, is very okay. I'm gonna say all my grandkids are talented when it comes to crafty, artsy stuff.
Hmm.
But my middle grandson, somewhere he got like the artist gene, and there's been a couple different things that he's done that I've said that would make an awesome tattoo. Well, he drew something, and I finally said, that's what I'm getting. Um, a few weeks back, he was really into drawing an eye, like just one.
Hmm.
Um, and like as soon as I seen it, and then it's got like some tears coming out, like there's no way if you look at it, it looks like a 10-year-old drew it. Um, I mean, I don't know.
Oh, dang. No, that's really good.
Yeah, well, if I look at a picture of my mom, that is my mom's eye.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I'm like, I gotta get it. So I have a consultation on Wednesday, um, for that. The picture is great, but the actual drawing, like the picture doesn't do the drawing justice.
Hmm.
So I'm taking in the actual drawing, and yeah,
Nice.
so I'm excited. I'm
That's
excited.
awesome. Where are you gonna get it?
I don't know. That's probably one of the things we're gonna go over in the consultation. I mean, I don't, I mean, like maybe here, but I've also got room here, but not a lot, like, I don't know. But I don't want it here. I don't,
You want to be able to see it.
yeah, I want to be able to see it all the time. Yeah.
Understandable.
I was joking with Roy that I was going to get it right here. But
That's hilarious.
okay, I'm going to tell you he's gullible. When I got these ones, because I
Mm.
got these together, this is our wedding date, and this is his initials and his writing.
Okay.
Um, but and he knew I was going because um it was around Mother's Day, and I had taken his mom to go get her very first tattoo. I don't think she's gotten one since. She wanted something for her husband that had passed away,
Hmm.
and that's kind of where she got okay. So I had the idea of I knew I wanted his initials at our anniversary date. Um, and they're small and they're cute, but they can be covered if necessary, which I don't think I'll ever cover them. And I'm like, but I want Roy's handwriting. And I'm like, I think you should get Bill's handwriting instead of whatever she does. So that's what she did. Now, here's the thing when the person writes kind of sloppy, it does kind of, I don't want to say drop down, but someone else might look at it and go, oh, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, because initially she did have it like very beautifully scripted. Um, and then, we had decided to go with his writing, or she had decided, like, I came up with the idea because I started doing this. And like it's a cute tattoo, but it just looks weird with his handwriting because it was so, but um
Can't do a chicken scratches.
yeah, he knew I was getting a tattoo, but I didn't want to tell him what I was getting. I wanted to surprise him with this. So I did tell him that I was getting like my lower abdomen area. I was gonna get Bona Garage.
That's not the one I would have expected, but at the same time, totally fits.
Well, I didn't want him to have any, I didn't want him to think I was doing something not for him because I wanted it, but, and I don't even want to say celebrate, but like in his honor, like, yeah, I didn't want him to have any idea that's what I was doing. So I'm like, I gotta come up with something wild that he thinks I'm gonna get that knowing me would be believable. And that's what I came up with.
The fact that you got him to believe that is freaking awesome.
Yeah, because right up until we left for the appointment, he was like, are you really getting that? Like, yeah. So then when I came home with these, he was so relieved.
I bet. Oh, it's hilarious.
I don't know. There's something going on out there. It's not
Yeah.
my business. It's not my business.
So, shall we get on to today's story?
Let's.
So, this is a case that I've wanted to do for several months now. Um, and it is the Hinsdale House. hmm it is currently owned by a man named Dan Kales. Klaes. Say it how you want. If I'm not mistaken, he came into possession of the house in 2014, 2015. Shit, sorry. I didn't write it down apparently. I thought I did. My mistake. Um, I did get the information for this from the website that he runs in regards to the Hinsdale House, and through various investigations. There is also a couple of books and a movie in relation. So, like, if you don't want to watch the investigation aspect, because lots of people have been there, it's actually very affordable too. 350 for up to 6 people.
Okay, that's not bad.
No. So there are two books. There is Echoes of a Haunting on Amazon, which is by Clara Miller, and The Hinsdale House, An American Haunting by Tim Joyce and Dan, the owner. And that can be found on various places. There's also the movie Hinsdale House, which can be found on YouTube, Tubi, and Amazon.
Thank you for letting us know where we can find them because
You're welcome.
you're gonna
I'm
have to you're
here.
gonna have to shoot me a text with the name of these.
Okay. I can actually cheat and send you a picture because I have it wrote out really nicely.
Okay, that works too.
Um, so the Hinsdale House is also referred to as the Dandy House. And I'll get into that a little later. But this property sits at 3830 McMahon Road, in Hinsdale, New York. Um, and we're gonna get into the deep history because they told me the deep history, which adds to like everything of this place.
Okay.
Um, so this is in upstate New York, so very wooded area and hills and things like that. Um, this property is tucked away in the woods. Originally 100 acres. Um, it is believed that it is the site of a Native American massacre of over 10,000 people. There is a source that refutes that in a sense.
Okay.
Um, in the original telling through the site and whatnot, um, they do not mention burial ground, burial mound, none of that. They just say these people were massacred here. Okay. The refute is that there is no burial site and there is no mound. So, okay, it makes sense that if another people came in and wiped this people out, that they would not be buried in their traditional manner. You know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
of course, you wouldn't find a mound because there isn't any natives left to make the mound.
Right.
So yeah. Um, However, after this massacre, um, people were believing that the land was cursed. People would try to hunt on the property, and they would report seeing various things, such as half human, half animal hybrids running through the forest, um, hearing various things, screaming, name calling, the shouts, knocks, bangs, um, and things rustling in the night that shouldn't be rustling, basically. Um, a really creepy woods. We'll go with that. Um,
So, yeah.
so some believe also that that massacre opened a portal. Here nor there. There isn't anything to really say yes, no, what have you. So some time goes by, and there is a farm that is built by the Everett brothers in 1855. And these brothers were said to be a piece of work. Um, they had a road that a lot of stagecoaches would travel on. They would frequently rob and murder the people on the stagecoaches. And this was a oral history passed down through the families, reportedly. Um, However, the same refutement of the burial mounds also states that the home was never used as a stagecoach inn, which in the original telling, that is not the claim. There is no claim that the house was an inn, merely that the people who lived there murdered the people who were going by.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm kind of not happy about the refutement. Like, okay, you picked the smallest bit to try to refute.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and when I tell you where it comes from, it'll make total sense. So supposedly these brothers would hold on to the bodies in a crawl space on the property. It's not said specifically where the
Okay.
crawl space was.
Mm.
However, the current owner did bring ground penetrating sonar out to the property and bodies were found.
Oh,
So that does give credibility to that story. However, they could not determine whether or not they were murder victims. 'Cause, I mean, that's hard when all you got is bones.
yeah.
That takes time, in some cases, a lot of time. So, maybe 10 years down the road, we might find out, that that is the case or that it wasn't. But for now, I'm gonna say that that makes that story more credible, in
Yeah.
my opinion. Um, so once, um, sorry, da, 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 da. Oh, okay. So also on the property, there was said to be two brothers, different section of the property. Um, they were in the woods and had got it into a heated argument. I'm going to assume that they were hunting. They had shotguns. To me, that makes sense because like they don't say why these men are in the woods, just that they're in the woods. I'm going to assume hunting. Um, they get into a supposedly heated argument in regards to religion. That's 100% hearsay. However, one brother did not make it out of the woods alive.
Okay.
Um, so yeah. Um, and then again, in June of 1942, there was a boy who had an accident while working with his father's tools, when the blade of a buzz saw snapped loose, unaliving the child instantly. Um, Oddly enough, in the investigations, they make note of the small child that haunts the property. They make numerous claims too that it is the child who died from the buzzsaw accident. However, I did see an article in relation to this, and it has, the name of the paper, the story itself, things like that. Like I could have gotten you this kid's name. However, I chose not to. But he was not a small boy. This boy was 16 years old and in high school.
Okay. Definitely not a small boy.
Nope. And in fact, in the history that I found in various forms, I did not find a incident with a small boy, unless it may have been referred to as with a Native American. So that's interesting to me,
Yeah.
because several different investigators mentioned the small boy. Um, and in the refutement story, they say that the boy did not even die on the property, yada, yada, yada. However, the home is on a 10-acre parcel within a 100-acre area. There are other homes on the 100 acres. So, I mean, even though it's not technically on the Dandy property, it's still on the original Hinsdale property. Um, let's see, the Dandy family, which is the most heard of story, moved in the early 1970s. Um, from what I originally found, the family was only in the home for 16 months. In the refutement, the family lived there for 4 years. hmm And there's some other aspects of the refutement that don't quite make sense either. So it was almost immediate when they moved in. However, they moved in with the whole, this is the best house ever, this is our forever home, like in The Conjuring,
Yep.
it's, the prized home they've been looking for.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and almost immediately began to experience activity. Um, Not quite the same as in that case. So, it was more so a presence that was hanging around. The phone would ring and no one would be there. Um, Stuff like that, just common poltergeist type activity to say. However, things did ramp up. At one point, a lamp had flown across the room and struck one of the daughters.
Mm.
Um, and that particular daughter's room was what the current living room is. There was a sister who was believed to be under the early stages of possession. However, the family thought that it was happening because of the room she was in. Within that room, flies would frequently pile up, we'll say. Always cold, always had that presence, yada yada. So they moved the daughter out of the room and into the other daughter's room, the one in the living room. And they proceed to barricade this door and nail it shut in the hopes that that's going to keep all of that at bay. No, no, it did not. It
Mm.
did not. So in the process of all of this, things are getting worse. So they're trying to reach out. They're putting ads in the paper, yada yada. Um, they would hear chanting coming from the nearby woods. They would see full-bodied apparitions in and outside the home. Um, there was supposedly a woman in white who would appear to the children and adults of the house. They would see full animal-human hybrids. Um, and in one instance, on Project Fear, Dakota and Chelsea, the main people on that, mentioned how they also experienced a animal human hybrid on their property as children and how they had never really heard of it happening anywhere else. So I thought that was an interesting note.
Mm.
Um, and apparently one night, Mr. Dandy and a couple of other in the family had noticed a group of strange faces outside the window staring back at them.
Yep.
Yeah. Mr. Dandy then runs outside, to scare whoever it is off.
No
However,
one's
when
there.
he gets out there, the faces are staring back at him from inside the house. Yup.
That is a whole bowl full of fuck that.
Yup. Yup. Mm,
Mm.
yup. Mm. So, and this was kind of the turning point, when things started getting worse. Um, Things were constantly levitating around the house. This is when the lamp was thrown. Apparently, Mr. Dandy even went through a time of amnesia. Um, I didn't catch how long it was or like how extensive. But as someone who has memory problems, when you can't remember shit and you know it,
Hmm.
it's hard.
Yep.
Um, so, and it was at this time, where a exorcist and priest, from the Saint Bonaventure, University. Let me try saying that again. Saint Bonaventure University. Sorry, that it was hard to get that proper enunciation. I
Yeah.
listened to it several times. Um, so them and a team of paranormal investigators are brought in. They, say that the claims are, there, whatnot. Um, and they would have lights turning on and off, doors slamming, banging, voices coming out of the walls. Apparently, at one point, the entire house was reported to have shook. Um, and how there was a negative presence throughout the entire house. Unfortunately, the exorcism didn't work. Um, and this was reportedly in the living room, which at the time would have been one of the daughter's bedrooms, or rather, the daughter's bedrooms. Sorry. Um, in the refutement, it is said that the priest did not do an exorcism on the home. What he did was a blessing, and that you exorcise a person and you bless a home. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel like a home can have an exorcism.
Yeah,
You're
I'm not gonna
still
lie, I don't know
casting
what.
out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know enough about like what the difference would be. I mean, obviously I know a person can have an exorcism, but um I don't know, to me, and I could be way off. Maybe if you do, my thought is if you do a successful exorcism on a person, then couldn't it go anywhere else? Maybe somewhere in the home, like maybe next it wants to possess a dresser or a
Or
wall or your
maybe
light.
it's just hiding out till it has the opportunity to strike again.
Yeah. So why would you not exercise a whole house? But look, that's not my forte. I don't know.
That's my thought. That is 100% my thought. I mean, not only that, but if you believe that your daughter is in the pre-stages of possession, where the fuck did it come from?
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, hello, if it didn't come from a person, it obviously came from the house or the land. Therefore, you do the house and the land.
You would think.
You follow the train, man. They got off at the first stop, apparently, in my opinion. And again, I don't know, just like you, enough about all of it to be able to say yay and nay.
Right.
But to me, it sounds weird.
Yeah, that
And
to me
to
is like putting a band-aid on a hole in a boat and expecting it not to sink. Like,
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Um, I think that was about the extent of the refutements. Oh, the hanging tree. I'll get to that. So on the property, there is reported to be a hanging tree. Within this tree, there's various bones, dream catchers, things like that. However, there is no actual reports of a person being hung on the property.
mhm.
And I actually didn't even know that story until I went to this site with the refutements. Like each of the ones that I heard it referred to, it's not referred to as a hanging tree. It's referred to as a creepy ass tree, or a um, offering tree.
Okay.
And that's in regards to all of the Native Americans that are believed to have perished there. And so there's a lot of things left for the Native Americans. To me, that makes sense. And yet there's this other side saying it's a hanging tree. Like, where the fuck did you get the hanging tree from?
Right, right.
You
You
know?
know, I think it might be common for like that to be a thing because I can remember watching um an episode of that the paranormal caught on camera,
Mhm.
and there was a tree that they called the hanging tree, and they had brought in like a medium that didn't know anything, and he was like, yeah, I see people just like dangling there like ornaments.
Hmm,
That's what that reminded me of. Sorry.
okay. That I can fully understand then. So yeah, I believe that was the last of it. Of the refutment. I on it. The refutment comes from a website dedicated to Father Alphonsus. He is reportedly the priest and exorcist who went out to the home.
Okay.
I think it's more so he refutes to save his own butt.
Could be.
Because there's so much that like it just doesn't add up. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you're saying there's no mound on the property, but nobody said there was a mound, just that there was a massacre.
Right.
Nobody said the house was an inn. You did, and bodies were found.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you took a section of it and kind of ran with it and was like, well, no, it wasn't this, but yet
Right.
nobody said so. In my opinion, that's what it seems like. It just seems like a something to cover him and possibly university, church, what have you.
Right. Right.
'Cause that doesn't happen. So apparently exorcism did not work. They had a small period of calm afterwards. And then suddenly it ramped right back up again. And that was when the dandies were like, nope, fuck this, we're out. And it was said that it was 16 months, whereas this guy's like, well, no, it was over a period of 4 years. Um, However, apparently nobody has really stayed in the home for long. So to me, it
Okay.
16 months would make sense. Like nobody stays like a year.
Okay.
Um, the current owner actually, I think the only way he has remained safe is by the fact that he doesn't actually live there. It's entirely a tourist trap, basically, of paranormal variety.
Okay.
Paranormal tourist trap. Yeah, so there's tours and all that kind of stuff. He has it set up as a like functional home, even though it's not. Um, does various haunted nights and things like that. You can have tour, um, all the fun stuff, yeah, that goes along with it. Um, so apparently the majority of the activity is reported in either the kitchen or up on the second floor, which is where the bedroom was that had the door barricaded. Um, the room on the second floor is open now. Um, and yeah, things do still gather in there. Um, the current owner has security cameras set up throughout the entire house. He's got infrared and all of that. He has caught full-bodied apparitions, um, and has actually even caught a apparition walking all the way up the stairs. Yeah,
Okay.
yep. Um, but it is also said that the property might be more haunted than the house.
I could see that.
Hmm. Um, Out on the property, all manner of things. You see ghost lights, you hear voices, you get separated, all that fun jazz that you don't want to happen in a forest in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
I think I'd have to pass on that. Well, I don't, I mean, with a group, yes. By myself, no.
mhm. Is very apparently very common for people on the 100 acres to see Native American spirits wandering. There is a pond on the property, and they are apparently frequently seen around that area, um, or within the forest. However, when people are at the home, sometimes the Native American spirits will show up. Um, I did see in one of the things where someone had lived on the property, not the 10 acres, but of the 100. And it was a younger family. Father was outside like grilling or had a fire going or something along that lines. And the child looked out the window and said, "Who's the angry Indian staring at Dad?"
That just gave me chills. Mm,
Oh, yeah, lots of fun there. And that's pretty much with all of the homes that are on that 100 acres. It is referred to as the Enchanted Mountain, because there is so much activity within the area.
I mean, I don't know if enchanted is the word I would go for,
I would go with Haunted Mountain personally.
but I guess enchanted sounds better if you want to bring people in.
Very true, very true. And apparently there is reportedly a dark presence that lurks in the house and on the grounds. And when Dan gives advice for that, he's like, if you think you're interacting with a dark entity, he's like, just stop. He's like, just go to another area and start doing something else. He's like, don't think about it. He's like, just end it. He's like, because it comes up out of nowhere and you never know what's going to happen, basically. So I was like, "Oh, okay, fair enough, fair enough." So in the various investigation that I watched, there were REM pods that would frequently go off, SB7, Spirit Box, knocks, bangs, footsteps, voices, chanting, the whole gambit. Like this house has all the bells and whistles that investigators are looking for. Although some say it is not for the faint of heart because it is so active. So, yeah. Oh, Estes method. That's another fun one. You'll get interesting responses with that.
Yeah, oh, I can
They
imagine.
they'll answer. And apparently there's a one woman, and she seems to be very polite.
Well, at least there's a polite one.
Yeah, like she's all, "Oh, hello," and she'll answer your questions, and then if something happens, she'll be like, "I'm leaving now. Bye."
See, them are the kind you want.
Right? However, she left because the dark thing showed up. But yeah,
Of course.
I don't blame her. Let's see. Oh, in the woods, one of the sets of investigators were using a SB7, and they got the words angry and rage. Um, and at the same time, like they were hearing, movement and footsteps and things like that. Um, in an area where one of the other investigators had seen something. And yeah, like it was a whole thing. It was interesting. Um, and like they were wondering, like, why would it be angry? Why would it have rage? Yada, yada, yada. However, if it's Native American and it's white people who came and, unaligned the entire clan, yeah, they're going to be angry. They're going to have some rage, and they most certainly aren't going to want white people on their land.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very interesting place. I think I would totally go check it out.
Yeah. 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 Now, when you go, and you maybe said this, but my brain's not braining today. Now, if you go, can you go anywhere on the 100 acres? Okay. Okay.
Not the 100 acres, the 10 that Dan
Okay.
owns.
Okay. Okay.
So, and the hanging tree is on that property.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I would want to do the outdoor. outdoor stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to. It also in the basement there is a crawl space.
We all know how Jill feels about basements.
At
Jill
the same
don't.
time, we don't know if this is the crawl space that they used or if it was a different crawl space somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Mm, yeah, there's only one basement I have said I gotta go in the basement, and that was when we went to Stimson Hospital.
Mm,
Yeah, because when I came home that night and I was talking to Roy about it, I said, "Yeah, I wanted to go in the basement." He was like, "Wait a minute, you you wanted to?" I did. Well, that's where the first doctor met his end. So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I think this would be a very interesting location to visit.
oh,
Um,
for sure.
for so many reasons for me. Like I want confirmation on the history.
Hmm.
So, because so much of it is just hearsay and legend and all of that. Although, there is some things that are provable, like the bones. Like to
Hmm.
me, that's proof that that was an actual story.
Absolutely.
Um, as far as the boy dying with the saw, that was a real thing. However, it is not the age that people are led to believe. So yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going with a group. That would be a fun field trip.
Dan.
Yes, that would be a fun ass field trip.
Yeah,
Well, maybe
Sherry.
maybe not fun. I
Oh
mean,
no, it would be fun
yeah,
because we got to get there and we got to get back.
yeah,
We'll just scare the shit out of ourselves while we're there and enjoy the rest of it.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would like to go there.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just a property that has been on my mind the last few months, and yeah, finally covered it.
Well, I'm glad you did. That was a good one.
Thanks.
And there's been several places when we talk about it and things like that where we go, oh yeah, that's on our bucket list. We need to start writing this bucket list down.
We do really need to make our paranormal bucket list.
Absolutely, for sure. So yeah, thank you. That one was a good one.
I thought so.
Um, let's see. Have got anything? Um, we don't know exactly what we're doing yet, but we are uh, close to our 100th episode. Um, and I'm excited. I'm excited. Um,
Same.
we've tossed around a few ideas, but we haven't came to any decisions, I don't think, on anything.
Nope.
Um, so we could do, let's see, what could we do? We could, I don't know, maybe create a poll and see what people would like to see for our big episode.
We can do that.
Give some options and see.
Meantime, if you want to give us options, let us know in the comment section below.
Yes,
Also, if you notice that Jill and I have the same shirt on, let us know in the comments below.
I think we brought it up in the beginning that we're okay. So, and it's
We
funny.
brought it up with your daughter. We did not bring it up at the beginning of the episode.
I thought we did. I thought we
I
did.
thought we just brought it up with her.
I don't know. I could be wrong. Uh, yeah, I don't know. But yeah. Um, and the funny thing is I was gonna grab this shirt this morning and I'm like, I'll get to it in a minute. And then I got busy doing everything else and talking to my daughter about her hair. And I have like these condition treatments for damaged bleached hair. Um, and I just forgot to go change. So initially I did have this picked out. That's why it was so quick for me to like put it on and come back.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, let me see your shirt because I seen the first letter
Hmm.
and I'm like, I have it. And we both ordered it from the same place and there was many color options and oddly enough, we even got the same fucking color.
Yep. Ironically, I wanted the burgundy. They were out.
I I don't remember. Um
To be fair, that color was out in a lot of the shirts that I wanted.
yeah, and I because I'm in the process of like doing a deep clean on my room. One of the things that I do when I do a deep clean is I try to purge some clothes. But here's my problem. Here is my problem. I am a sentimental person, emphasis on mental. Um, so I don't like to just give shit away all willy-nilly. I got like, how am I going to feel if I don't have that shirt anymore? I may not have worn it in a year, but I don't know how I'm going to feel if I don't have it as an option. It's a problem for sure. It's a problem.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. It's a good problem to have. I mean,
I do not have that problem.
um,
Um,
there's a shirt I have. It was merchandise from another podcast that I listened to, and they no longer make episodes. And it was one of those things like they would say it in the episode. I'm like, oh my God, I love that saying. In fact, that's part of where, like, when I say make words, that's part of where it comes from. The podcast is Color Me Dead. Um, and the full phrase that they would say when they were stumbling on like a word that they wanted to say but couldn't say it, they would say, fuck mouth, make words. And that's what it says. And it's got a set of lips with a crayon kind of hanging out of it. And I know it don't fit me. I know it don't. Because since my surgery, I've put on weight. So I know it don't fit me. I haven't, well, I don't know. I haven't see, and that's my thing. I haven't tried a lot of these on. So it might, but I don't know. But that's one of them that I'm having issues with. Like, I mean, I can't give it to one of my grandkids. Um, so yeah, I'd have to find somebody at work that would, I don't know.
appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few shirts that I was like, yep, I'm gonna try it on. And if it's I don't like tight shirts at all.
Hmm.
Even if they're meant to be like the tight, because I got some rolls, I got some back titties. And I don't want to emphasize those. So I like my shirts baggy. So I got some I'm gonna try on today. And if they're not baggy, whether I love them or not, they're going.
Good for you.
And one of them is gonna crush me because it was I had it made because I really, really love the show Shameless. And it says drink until you're a Gallagher.
Oh, I
And
remember.
I don't drink. But for the last, I don't know, 7 years, that has been my St. Patrick's Day shirt because it's green and it's got the clovers on it.
Hmm.
So if that one's too snug, I'm gonna be sad. But
All right.
I've made the decision. If it doesn't fit, it's going, no matter how much I love it. So yeah. But all right. I hope everybody is having a phenomenal weekend, and I hope your week ahead is
Not in an explosive way.
no, just kisses everywhere. I mean, blow the kisses. All right, everyone have a good week.
See you next time.
Bye.